talking dreams so big that they'll haunt you, or they'll calm you. That's how you know if you gotta go and get it, get to win and not conquer. I had to go out and get it without a sponsor. Kept it real, never crooked, yeah, that's honor. Now I can go out and get it how I want to. Hashtag blessed, I choose.
What is up, Rumble? What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Ryan Matta Show. I am your host, Ryan Matta. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. We're going to get into all things Bitcoin. We're going to talk a little bit about Vitalik and what's going on with Ethereum. Is Vitalik expected to be from outer space? There's some funny memes going around. Vitalik suspected of extraterrestrial origins, and Ethereum Foundation receives confidential state inquiry to removes Warrant Canary icon from its GitHub repo. We also got a little bit of news coming in from bitcoinnews.com. We're going to talk a little bit about an appeals court rules against YouTube in Bitcoin scam lawsuit. They're talking about taking away YouTube's Section 230, I believe they call it. Don't know if you guys know if you guys are not familiar why this is important. Every single creator that's attempted to sue YouTube for YouTube censoring or silencing them, YouTube's used this 230 protection to evade or escape or avoid being held responsible or liable for what happens on their platform. Well, the judge is finally saying no more because YouTube was actually helping and was verifying the scammers that were using or impersonating Steve, one of the old founders of Apple. Wozniak, I believe is his last name. They were an account used a fake account to create a Bitcoin scam and then was using his name and his channel, and then YouTube went and verified them during the scam. So finally the judge is like, nope, you might have had Section 230 when you just are letting people post in your platform, but since you are actually helping the scammers become verified, we're now going to hold you liable, or at least they're going to attempt to hold these people liable. We also got some other news coming in from bitcoinnews.com, which is Argentina's prefer Bitcoin over US dollar as an inflation hedge, which could be huge. We're going to talk a little bit about Vitalik. Man, this kid is freaking weird, dude. You guys see the thing that's on his thumbnail? Like, what in the hell is that purse, bro? Like, I can't imagine why people call Ethereum a shitcoin when this is your CEO. Does that really look like somebody that, you know, incentivizes you to invest in their proof of stake project? I don't know. You guys tell me. And last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin supply on exchange drops to a 4-year low amid bullish trend. This could be explosive for Bitcoin. We've seen Bitcoin shoot up over $6,000 or $7,000 yesterday. I think it got back up to $68,000. It's pulled back a little bit. It's currently sitting at $67,008. We got Ethereum over here sitting at 3,531. Ethereum is trending right now over on X. We're going to get into all of those things, folks. Smash that like button if you guys are just joining us. I'd greatly appreciate it if you would. It'll help push out this content. Erica, good to see you. Long time no see. We got Robbie over in the house. We got Eric in here. Johnny Drama, KDA, JC. Good to see everybody. Let's jump over to the live chat and say what up to everybody. How you guys doing this morning? Great to see everybody over here in the live chat. We got the Rumble live chat over here as well. If you guys are over on Rumble, or if you guys are on YouTube, come join us on Rumble. Rumble's a much better time, but seems like everybody likes the live chat on YouTube, so we'll stick it over here on the YouTube live chat. Good to see you guys. Rated R, good to see you. There's a different scammer now. Michael Saylor, the owner of Coinbase, like they should be held accountable because they let these fly, and some people actually lose their money to these dipshits. Yeah, rated R. I mean, we know that Coinbase is up to some really shady shit this bull run. I personally think that I had a couple conversations with the people that I've interviewed the last couple weeks off the record about what's kind of going on with Coinbase, and we all kind of came to the same conclusion. Something's not right. We can't quite put our finger on it. We don't know what it is. But again, not your keys, not your crypto. We know that Brian from Coinbase was kind of sitting in all the meetings with Sam Bankman-Fried. He was in all those meetings with Gary Gensler. I didn't hear Brian from Coinbase coming out to, expose that Gary Gensler was, facilitated the payments for the Steele dossier. And it just blows my mind how anybody's getting charged or breaking any law as far as a cryptocurrency or a regulation or a security when the dude who's in charge of the SEC is a freaking criminal and has committed crimes and literally tried to rig an election and frame the president of the United States. He facilitated the payment for the Steele dossier. That was the $1 million payment that the FBI was trying to use to bribe an informant to lie to frame President Donald Trump. And that man's the head of the SEC. I have absolutely zero respect for that man. But I want to get into a few clips really quick. A lot of people say Bitcoin's for criminals, right? Vivek for Real tweets out, this is an awesome account. If you guys aren't following Vivek for Real, he puts out some awesome content. Check out this little compilation he made. The best thing about Bitcoin is it's not controllable. No government can tell you when they can use it. They can't tell you when you can't use it. They can't sanction it. They can't stop you from using it. And you now have this tool which becomes your weapon to fight back against tyranny. You finally have a way to protect your wealth and preserve your wealth from a tyrannical government. We've never had that before. It might be for criminals, but it's also for entrepreneurs, investors, savers, believers. I mean, every person from every walk of life, including Argentina. And you're going to watch the country of Argentina do a complete 180 over the next 4 years, not just because they're getting rid of all their woke government programs, but because they're finally going to start adopting the Bitcoin standard. I'd be very surprised if Argentina didn't make Bitcoin legal tender. And I think you're going to see people like Michael Saylor and bigger players in the community. I personally think that's what Michael Saylor is doing with his Bitcoin. I think he's going to start helping nation states adopt the Bitcoin standard. I mean, eventually he's going to have enough Bitcoin to where he could just give 1% of his portfolio to a country like Argentina, and boom, all of a sudden they have enough money to like basically restart their civilization over, restart their country. And I think that's what we're going to see Michael Saylor do. That would be my opinion. That's why I think he's trying to buy so much Bitcoin and he never plans to sell it, because he plans to use it for good. And I think he's going to save the world, honestly, save humanity. So Trey Sellers at 21M goes by at TS_hodl. He says, Unchained helps people to acquire Bitcoin and make sure they don't lose it. Clients are in full control of their BTC and can audit their positions directly on the Bitcoin network at any time. And this is an interview with Gary Cardone. His team just reached out to me, so I should have Gary on the show for an interview at some point next week. Guys, if you guys are just joining us, we got quite a few people watching this morning. I appreciate that. Smash that like button for us.
A lot of high net worth individuals and family offices to acquire and secure Bitcoin. And we do that in a very consultative way to make sure that people really understand the process. Most of our clients hold their own Bitcoin keys, and they do it in a way that there's no single point of failure, that they have no counterparty risk to us or anybody else, that they are owning Bitcoin directly, the asset directly, that they can see on the Bitcoin blockchain, that they can verify cryptographically with the private keys that they use. And
so they can do an audit of their position with
Absolutely.
Unchained anytime they want.
They can do an audit of their position without Unchained. They can see their Bitcoin right there on the blockchain. If they're savvy enough to be running a Bitcoin node, they can load their Unchained vault into the wallet software that they're using completely outside of our platform and be able to verify that that Bitcoin is there and that they control it. They don't have to rely on somebody else.
Right.
Hey, what's up, Joanna? Good morning. Scam Dow in the house. Erica says, Trump 2024, let's go. Yeah, Coinbase does scare the crap out of me. I don't know what it is, but you know, I think Coinbase is a great onboarding platform for new users. I personally, that's what I recommend. It's the easiest for people that are in the United States and want to, add a little bit more Bitcoin to their portfolio or direct deposit from their bank, or if worst case scenario, they have to cash it out. It's really easy to go through Coinbase and cash it out. But would I trust my Bitcoin to sit on that exchange? No. Do I like that a majority of these ETFs are using Bitcoin as their custodian? Not really. I hope that we're going to get a lot of people just like Trey on here to talk about, custodying your own Bitcoin. You guys can see over here, I got a Bitcoin node up and running. Don't fully understand it yet, but I have one up and running. So it actually should be synced by tonight. Hopefully I'll have it at 100% sync. And then I'm going to have Ben coming on the show next week. He's going to be telling us all about self-custody and how to store your Bitcoin and use a node and all those good things. So we're going to dive deep down those rabbit holes. But let's take a look at this article by Vitalik really quick. So Ethereum Foundation receives confidential state inquiry. Removes warrant canary icon from its GitHub repo. So I don't fully understand what that means. Was it just an icon? This article didn't go into much description about it, but I'll give you the gist. The Ethereum Foundation has reportedly received a voluntary inquiry from a state authority, according to a note added to the group's GitHub page. Now, state actors have contacted the Ethereum Foundation. The SEC is reportedly investigating. On Wednesday, March 20th of 2024, which was yesterday, the crypto community discovered a message posted on the Ethereum Foundation's GitHub repository, which also features a warrant canary notice. The update is published to a commit that states, this commit removes a section of the footer as we received a voluntary inquiry from a state authority that included a requirement for confidentiality. So the commit also says canary bird icon was removed with a text that also discloses. So I don't know if this means that like the feds are after the Ethereum blockchain and the investigation has to remain confidential. So is the Ethereum Foundation trying to tip everybody off? I'm not really sure. So the Ethereum Foundation, stuffing Ethereum, has never been contacted by any agency anywhere in the world in a way which requires that contact not to be disclosed. Stifling Ethereum will publicly disclose any sort of inquiry from government agencies that falls outside the scope of regular business operations. Now, the foundation's X account has not posted since March 18th after it reported a post from Ethereum core developer Tim Biko. Following the news, ETH is down 2.7% during the past day, which is also due to overall market downturn. Ethereum has lost 18.4% against the US dollar this week. Now, additionally, on Wednesday, Fortune disclosed that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, the most corrupt government organization in the history of America, is reportedly, I didn't say that in there, but I filled that in, is purportedly probing entities related to Ethereum. The investigation centers on the question of whether Ether constitutes as an unregistered security. After the Federal Reserve's gathering on Wednesday, ETH experienced a modest uptick. ETH climbed by 2.3% following the FOMC event. So what do you guys think about the Ethereum Foundation being contacted by state authorities? Drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's interesting. And then I saw this one. This is pretty funny, man. Like, what, bro? Like, cute purse, bro. When the fuck did this, like... I'll just leave it at that. Here's another one. I'll just leave that there. I'll let you guys fill in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Boy, oh boy. Things are getting weird out there, folks. Let's jump over to bitcoinnews.com, folks. Let me let you guys in on my new favorite Bitcoin news website right here, bitcoinnews.com. I even got a special background going in here for it. Bitcoinnews.com, man. This is becoming my favorite go-to place. If you guys aren't checking out your news content or getting your news content from bitcoin.com, you guys are missing out. Their team's absolutely awesome. Hopefully, we're going to have Luke on the show for an interview a little bit later this week. Let's jump over to this first article about Steve, because this one's pretty interesting. Give me 1 second. I opened up the wrong one. Oops. So appeals court rules against YouTube. This is huge, not just for crypto, not just for Bitcoin scams, but for a lot of these social media platforms, because there's so many people in this industry that get wrecked that are new, that don't understand what's happening. And they'll see somebody like Michael Saylor talking, and there'll be a big icon, like scan this icon, enter your private keys so we can deposit Bitcoin in your wallet, or send us 10 Bitcoin and we'll get back 10. The amount of ads that YouTube runs, I want to say on bot accounts, advertising is 30% is just basically burnt, right? So if YouTube were to remove bots and make it illegal for all these accounts to run bots, do you know how many fake accounts out there these scam accounts are running on 24/7 loops, and how many ads that YouTube's running on that? I mean, it's absolutely insane. So they would, getting rid of the bots would cut down YouTube's ad revenue probably by 30%, which is a vast majority of their business. So this is going to be really interesting to see how YouTube responds to this. Normally they have the judges bought off, but Steve's a pretty big name. So it says appeals court rules against YouTube in Bitcoin scam lawsuit. Steve Wozniak won a court battle against YouTube for unauthorized use of his likeliness in Bitcoin scam giveaways. Appeals co-founder Steve Wozniak has won a court battle against YouTube concerning the unauthorized use of his likeness in doctored videos promoting Bitcoin giveaway scams in 2020. The latest ruling by San Jose Appeals Court has overturned a previous judgment that was absolved that absolved YouTube of any liability in that matter. Now, the appeals court verdict emphasizes that YouTube cannot invoke a controversial communication statute to keep itself away from being accountable for a fraudulent scheme exploiting Wozniak's popularity through fake videos, which is really important. So as reported by Bloomberg, the ruling paves the way for Wozniak to pursue his lawsuit against the video sharing platform. Moreover, it can potentially prompt a revelation of federal laws that are safeguarding video streaming platforms like YouTube from liability associated with content posted on their platform. Now, this is where it's like, okay, why is the message getting deleted? You're not getting deleted on my side, ScamDAO. I see you here. Well, that's what's showing up on my screen, so I don't know what's getting deleted. But it's YouTube, so they're a bunch of commie bastards, so you never know with those guys. The question we should be asking ourselves is anytime something like this, you're like, yeah, this is one for the little guy. The little guy is going to win here. Normally, we, the little guy, get absolutely raped in the pooper. No lube, no spit, just raw dog. And because you're going to hear about Bill Gates, they're all part of this too. So this is where it gets really weird. Bitcoin giveaway scam background. On July 21st of 2020, during the intense COVID-19 pandemic phase, Steve Wozniak, along with 17 other prominent figures, right, including Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Michael Dell, initiated legal actions against YouTube and its parent company, Google. This was regarding the circulation of manipulated videos promoting a bogus Bitcoin giveaway scam on their platform. Anytime I hear Bill Gates, I'm just like, fuck. Like, you don't think Bill Gates and the CEOs of Google are sitting in a fucking room together, fucking bumping elbows while Google was censoring us and taking down any information related to the COVID-19 vaccine, and Bill Gates out there over promoting it, you know? I don't trust anything that these sick fucks do. The fake videos engraved with additional text and imagery promising free Bitcoin misled users into believing that sending the digital assets to a specific address would double their amount, when in reality, victims received nothing. And you guys can see that over here on the screen. If I throw it up here. I'm sure you guys are new to crypto. If you guys are new to crypto, you're never going to get free Bitcoin, ever. You're never going to get free crypto unless you're watching the Ryan Matta Show like we did in 2022, where we gave away $26,000. But that was last year. Any of these other scam projects, if you're not following the creator and it's not somebody that you adamantly follow and you know that they're actually giving you crypto, you're never going to get free crypto. We do a lot of free giveaways, and we'll probably start those up again. Hopefully we can get a few sponsors to sponsor the show, and we'll start doing some giveaways again for you guys. But these type of giveaways, you're never going to get anything. So keep that in mind. Now, overturning the previous decision, the recent appeals court ruling marks a significant turning point for Wozniak and his co-plaintiffs, overturning a precise decision in 2021 by the Santa Clara County Supervisor Court judge. The previous judgment shielded YouTube under Section 230. Okay, so it was Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, the federal law protecting social media platforms from being sued for their users' content. Right, and this is where you get it's interesting because, okay, they're going to be sued for the content, right? But they're not going to be, but they're going to remove content they don't like. So they can remove your content if they don't like it, but then they have zero responsibility if the content's posted on their platform. Like it almost doesn't make sense. And that's where, like, you see MTG and some of these other members of Congress that are really going after these social media platforms because I've been demonetized. They've removed my content. They'll take my content down. They'll demonetize us. They'll deplatform us. But they're not held responsible for anything that's posted on their platform. So it gets a little funky. It's almost like it doesn't make sense. So the judge noted a disturbing trend when popular YouTube channels are frequently compromised to promote fraudulent activities. Google and YouTube were deemed accountable for their roles in providing verification badges to hijacked YouTube channels. Now, the plaintiffs may now have additional avenues for their disposal. Initially, the lower courts had not allowed them to initiate discovery proceedings against the defendants, citing costly and proactive legal battles. However, the appeals court pronouncement signals a shift in that stance. It stated, the grounds have now been shifted. We remand for the trial court and the parties to consider the appropriate scope of discovery in the light of our decision and subsequent developments in the trial. Now, YouTube's material contributions to the scam. The appeals court also noted that the platform's failure to promptly remove these verification badges even after the channel started posting scam videos. Notably, one of the channels received a verification badge during that scam, highlighting YouTube's carelessness in that process. Now, as a result, the court's ruling reasoned that companies may not be shielded by Section 230 immunity when their actions materially contribute to the fraudulent activities. Now, that's huge. Like, that could be a game changer, especially for people like Laura Loomer and some of these bigger names in the conservative space that have acting lawsuits. I think Loomer's got like $1 billion lawsuit against YouTube. And funny enough, that's what, remember when we were talking about going down and visiting Laura and filming that documentary for her? And then like the next day, my YouTube channel got demonetized. Oh yeah, that was fun. Good times, right? Good times. Speaking truth to power, they tend to not like it too much. Now let's talk about this next one over on Bitcoin News, which is Argentina. This is probably what I'm most excited about. I want to see Argentina. I mean, Argentina adopts Bitcoin and makes Bitcoin legal tender. I mean, it changes everything. We don't just have El Salvador as an experiment. We have El Salvador as a strategy and an example for the entire world to use. Then you get Argentina to do it. And now you have two countries that have replaced the US dollar, replaced fiat currency, went to a hard money standard, and their country is going to thrive. I mean, just with what they've done with their president and replacing their corrupt government in Argentina is a game changer. This should give everybody in America hope. And this is what we should all be fighting for. We should all be fighting to make Bitcoin legal tender in America, in my personal opinion. So Argentina prefers Bitcoin over US dollars as an inflation hedge. Argentina Bitcoin adoption breaks record amid the country's high inflation rate as citizens increasingly turn to Bitcoin for wealth protection. In the midst of Argentina's soaring inflation rates, which currently stand at a staggering 276%. Now, if you guys haven't seen Tucker Carlson's video on this, I almost want to pull it right now in real time. All right, we'll pull Tucker's video on Argentina. You guys want to see how bad it is in Argentina? The citizens in Argentina are having to go on their lunch breaks and take a wheelbarrow with them to work, take their wheelbarrow full of cash that they get paid on lunch, and go and buy and convert that currency. They either need to buy goods, food, something with that money and convert it immediately, or they're going to lose value by the end of the day. A 276% inflation rate. Like, you can't run from that. Now, a notable shift is underway in the financial habits of citizens. Argentina Bitcoin adoption is cited in a recent report by Bloomberg, showing that rather than opting for traditional strategies of exchanging their pesos for dollars, many Argentinians are turning to Bitcoin as a medium or a means for safeguarding their wealth against economic instability. Argentina Bitcoin adoption. The economic landscape in Argentina has become marred by recession and persistent inflation, prompting citizens to explore alternative avenues for financial security. President Javier Milei implementation of unconventional economic policies aimed at revitalizing the economy has further fueled this search for stability. Now, notably in recent weeks, the allure of exchanges pesos for dollars, a long-standing safe haven practice in the country, has faded amid the recent surge of Bitcoin. Leading local exchange Lemon, which caters to retail customers, reported a near record volume of Bitcoin purchases. This surge in activity marks the highest weekly seen in the past 20 months, indicating a growth preference for Bitcoin among Argentina investors. And this is huge. You guys can see it right here on the screen. Huge, 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 huge. Argentinians are buying Bitcoin to protect themselves from 276% inflation instead of rushing to exchange pesos for dollars. See, everybody in America, right? Even people in other countries no longer want our dirty fiat currency. So like, you have no choice but to, in my personal opinion, to go stack as much Bitcoin as humanly possible, because if you don't, you're going to get crushed. Your family's going to get crushed. And that's why Bitcoin is so important to what's going on in America right now. It's the only way that we have to protect our wealth right now. 35,000 user transactions for Bitcoin purchased. Notably, the parallel exchange rate, commonly relied upon for currency conversions, has exhibited a 10% strengthening against the dollar, while Bitcoin witnessed an impressive rally of nearly 60% against the greenback during the same period. Now, Lemon alone recorded an influx of almost 35,000 user transactions for Bitcoin purchases in the week ending in March 10th, doubling the weekly average observed in the previous year. Now, similar trends were observed across other major digital asset exchanges in Argentina, including Ripio and Bello. That's huge. Now, protection against inflation. Argentina's historical reliance on the US dollar is well documented, with the country ranking among the top destinations for shipments of US dollar-backed notes. However, recent details indicate a departure from this trend, with savers now diversifying their portfolios and exploring investment opportunities that offer protection against inflation. Why would any moron put their money in an Argentino peso or any shit dollar of any fiat currency? Like, what's it going to take to get through these retards' heads that you're going fucking broke? You're saving in fiat currency, you're going fucking poor. You can't do it. You can no longer save in the currencies that your government prints because your government's too rotten and corrupt. And they can't be trusted. No man can be trusted to control the wealth of a nation. Doesn't matter how great they are. They're all compromisable. So a key factor contributing to the rise of Bitcoin investments in a country is President Milei's supportive approach, or Milei's, I always say that wrong. Interestingly, in December, the government introduced a comprehensive draft bill offering tax incentives to individuals who declare their digital asset holdings. Now, concurrently, the volume of Bitcoin transactions has surged tenfold in 2024 compared to the same period last year. Now, in a recent interview, Manuel Bergerac, if I said that right, CEO of digital wallet Bello, noted a shift in consumer behavior, with purchases of stablecoins declining in favor of Bitcoin. That's huge. The users decided to buy Bitcoin when they see the news that the currency is going up, while stablecoins is more pragmatic and many times used for transactional purposes as a vehicle to make payments abroad. Now, challenges along the way. Nevertheless, the shift towards Bitcoin has not been without its challenges. It is crucial to note that digital asset scams in Argentina surged fivefold in February. Now, according to Bitcoin Argentina, the nation's leading non-governmental organization, according to Bitcoin Argentina, man, I hate NGOs, but this Bitcoin NGO hopefully is a good one. But like, I've never seen an NGO that's been good. So Bitcoin NGO, shit. So Bitcoin Argentina, the nation's leading NGO, non-governmental organization in a sector. Gabriel Batito, head of legal at Bitcoin Argentina, emphasized the vulnerability of individuals driven by desperation to preserve their savings. He cautioned citizens against impulsive decision-making in the face of financial uncertainty. Wow. That could be big for Bitcoin. I mean, we get two, man. I mean, we get another country. It's going to be crazy. How do I say that? AGSOR. Agsor? Azors? Ah, shit, I can't say that. So what's up, buddy? How you doing? YouTube, dude, is super weird. YouTube is weird, man. They're fucked, dude. What's going on, bro? How you doing, man? Are you sleeping? Hello. No, we're all here, man. We can see you over here in the live chat. I see you guys. We're streaming out to a bunch of different platforms. Rick B, I see you over on Rumble. Who else we got? Intentional. Base friend. Fuck Ukraine, man. That's what I'm saying, man. It's a giant money laundering pit of disaster. Now, speaking of crazy, right? Imagine the BlackRock, right? Like the most evil corporation in the world, basically tried to inject all of our children with a deadly bioweapon. They want to force behavior. Now BlackRock wants to control every asset on the stock exchange, every one. They want to have full control over every single asset. They want to digitalize everything, and they want it stored on one ledger. Who do you think is going to run that ledger? If you had to take a guess. So my man over here goes by @simply KASHIF over on X. He's after Bitcoin's ETF. The next step is tokenizing for financial assets. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink.
And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move. I would also say on the beginnings of a ETF Bitcoin, We believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe, if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share.
Yeah. Every investor is identified. So you're talking about, you know, how your board of directors, you know, if you're in the top 8% shareholders of a company, you could literally vote on things as a board member just based off your wallet holding X amount of shares, which is kind of interesting. But I still think BlackRock owning anything, and I think it's going to be hard for a man like that to do all these things that he wants to do when he's going to be sitting in Gitmo. I mean, that man, the odds of that man not being charged with treason as soon as we start declassifying things in the United States of America, I think is very rare. But that's just my opinion. Check out this tweet. This is some good stuff. You guys aren't following Simply Bitcoin. We had them over on the show for an interview last week. If you guys want to check it out, it's down in our video selection. Simply Bitcoin tweets out, "Ain't nothing changed." Check this one out. It's pretty funny.
And I promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it because you'll have no choice.
Am I still a toxic Bitcoiner? Of course, folks. I want to jump back over here. So I found this clip of Tucker, but it's the full interview. So just give me a second. I just want to kind of skim through it and see the part where he talks about, oh no, it's not the full interview. I'll have to bring that up another time. I want the